retired women. I felt a little bit out of place. So I had two seating options. I could sit at a table all by myself, or I could fight through the nerves and go ask one of the ladies if I could sit with them. So luckily I recognized Audrey, and I walk over and I said, "Hey ladies, would you mind if I sat with you?" And they said, "No, of course, Heaven, sit down, sit down." So I pick side and pull my chair out, sit down. One of the ladies with a big smile looks at me and says, "Wow, usually we have to pay for this."
Come on, Brett.
So, as I mentioned, I'm very honored to be here and teach you some of the things that I've picked up over the last 5 years. I really want to make today's seminar fun, because I truly believe that caregiving can be fun and that it can be a life-rewarding experience. And I know that the 8 years that I helped my family care for my grandma, it truly was rewarding, and when I look back at it, it changed me a lot. So let's go over exactly the goals of today, so we're all clear what we're going to learn. I want you, when you walk away from here today, to understand the relationship between healthy aging and prolonging independence. Number 2, healthy aging will help us in all aspects of our life, including caregiving. So it's not just about staying fit and shaving pounds. It's about healthy aging can help us as caregivers. 3, planning will give us the guidance needed to help us keep exercising and eating right and keeping our mind sharp. And lastly, aging healthfully is our choice. Because excuses are really easy to make, but at the end of the day, it's our choice if we decide we want to be healthy or not. So speaking of healthy, I was lucky enough to just go on a bit of a working holiday to Europe last month. And I just wanted to see how the older population in other continents and how it operated and how people took care of their parents and how healthy they were. Well, I saw a lot of similarities. They love tennis. Do we have any tennis players in the room today? Only one tennis player, wow. How about golfers? Any golfers? A few more golfers. This one I don't think many will have many of these, but any hikers?
Yes.
We don't have that's good. There's as many hikers as tennis players, but we don't have a lot of mountains around here. But in Austria they do. And I found myself in Innsbruck, where they had the 1976 Winter Olympics. I don't know if anyone remembers those Winter Olympics or not, but I'll paint the picture. Innsbruck was nestled in between two massive mountains. It looked a lot like the Rocky Mountains in Canada. Well, they love to hike there, and it's one of their touristy things. So I decided, well, I'm a tourist, I better go up one of these mountains. So I could either take the gondola, or I could grab my backpack and take the 3-hour hike, 3,500 feet straight up. Well, I took the gondola. Just joking. I wouldn't be talking about healthy aging if I took the gondola. So I headed up the mountain, and about 3 hours later I got to the top, and I was pretty exhausted. I could barely take another step, but I was feeling pretty full of myself. I was feeling like I was literally on top of the world. Long story short, I thought I was a well-oiled machine. But the truth of it all is I could barely take another step, and my water ran out and I was exhausted. I'm bent over gasping for air, and all of a sudden, and I look up. Well, here's a pack of 75-year-old seniors riding their bikes right past me to the top. I couldn't believe it. It was truly amazing. Because not only did they walk up the hill, they rode their bikes up the hill. And it was evident that day that it doesn't really matter how old you are. You can do anything that you set your mind to. So these are just 3 examples of people that are a little older than me that have done remarkable things. So that brings me to, why am I here today? Why are we all here today? And it's to talk about how big a role healthy aging has on living an independent, active lifestyle. Because at the end of the day, isn't that what we all want? We want to be independent. We want to be able to take care of ourselves. We don't want to have to rely on others to take care of us. See, the older Austrians, they had it right. They really understood the relationship between healthy aging and prolonged independence. That's one of the secrets you're going to hopefully figure out today that we already knew. I'm just going to remind you of it. The healthier we are as we age, the longer we're going to be able to take care of ourselves. So we know that healthy aging will prevent disease and falls and keep our mind sharp, but a lot of us in this room have maybe never actually thought, how does healthy aging help us as caregivers? Because the chances are the majority of us are in here have caregived or are active caregivers. So we're going to touch on that. But first, let's go over what healthy aging is, and then we'll cover how healthy aging can help us as caregivers. So this is a definition. Oh, did that skip a slide? So this is a definition from Canada Mental Health. So Health Canada defines healthy aging as a lifelong process of optimizing opportunities for improving and preserving health and physical and social and mental wellness, independence, quality of life, and enhancing successful life course transitions. Of course, Health Canada wouldn't make that easy on us, would they? So I could analyze this definition, which is very confusing. It's accurate, but it's very confusing. But I'd rather tell you what healthy aging means to me. And then after I'm done telling you what it means to me, I'm going to ask some of you what healthy aging means to you. So healthy aging to me is being able to dress and bathe myself. It's about waking up with a smile on my face and going to bed with a full heart. It's taking risks and always learning new things at any age, no matter if you're 80 or 35. It's about anticipating problems that will affect my health. Exercise, for example, exercising to prevent stiffness, spreading salt in the winter to prevent falling, eating right to prevent high cholesterol, and volunteering to stay mentally active. It's about being proactive and understanding that it's my choice to make. So that's my favorite point of the whole part there, because those two are very important. It's about being proactive, and it's about being your own choice. So what does it mean to you? Do we have any volunteers that would like to tell me, if I ask right away, what's healthy aging to you? What first comes to your mind? Independence. So healthy aging is independence.
Yeah.
Anyone else want to just yell it out?
Peace of mind.
Being able to travel. And sorry, what's the back one?
Peace of mind.
Peace of mind, knowing that maybe the decisions you're making are the right ones. And yes, good point, travel. I think the generations that are coming up or the baby boomers, we all love to travel. Well, if we want to travel, again, that's the point I'm going to try to make today, is that's only possible, or it's a lot better of a possibility if you age healthy. So how can healthy aging help me as a caregiver? It reduces the amount of responsibility placed on you. So, also, following with that, keeps your energy levels up, causing you to be more patient. I know as a caregiver, I'm sure you all know this, that you get exhausted because you're spending 80% of your time taking care of someone else. Well, if you aged healthy and you were in better shape and you ate right, you'd have a lot more energy at the end of the day. It gives you a break from caregiving so you can focus on yourself. Often as caregivers, we get so overwhelmed with our responsibility that we forget that we have to take care of ourselves. And healthy aging is a really good excuse. For example, if you love going to the gym, well, maybe you have to force yourself and make the choice to go to the gym a couple hours a week to give yourself a break, because it's going to benefit you and the person you're caring for. It keeps you healthier so that you won't require care so soon. So that's the part that I find so frustrating when I talk to a lot of people about aging, is they're so focused on caring for the other person. And this is probably because they're so overwhelmed with it, that they forget about themselves. They forget that they're aging too. And the more they burn themselves out and the less healthy they are, the sooner they're going to require care. So remember, folks, just because your day seems like it consists of caring for someone else, you have to care for yourself too. It helps you fight off isolation and caregiver burnout, because if you're spending 80% of your day taking care of your parent or your loved one, you're going to forget that you should go and do some of the things that you enjoy. And because you forget that, you become isolated and you forget to go out with your friends for tea. And you just become overly exhausted. And then it's not fun anymore. It's not rewarding. It improves self-esteem and feeling of accomplishment. Like I said, when I climbed that mountain, I felt like I was a well-oiled machine until I looked up. But at least for a little bit, I felt like I was a well-oiled machine. It builds self-esteem. And it helps you want to get out of bed in the morning. Sometimes as a caregiver, I know through several interviews, that you can become depressed and you can really, because of that exhaustion, you don't want to get up. You don't want to put a smile on your day and have a full heart when you go to bed.